Okay, I'm just testing something with the audio. Hold on 1 second. It's going to take a minute for my other device. Okay, it's working. It's working. So, this is just a test stream, right? Y'all know how I do. I come on here from time to time just to see what's going on with my notifications and then the audio and the text stuff. So, I'm going to play a song and then I'm just going to chit chat for a few. This is just like it says in the title, a test drive. But just to let people know we're still here, right? We're still here and doing our thing, even though it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people who have a lot to say, right? And I've just stepped back for like the last week and a half and let people talk. Because I was kind of like, well, maybe people will get tired of it and they'll move on to something else. Not these people. Okay, so I'm going to play a song and then we'll get but hey, Marsha, I understand you can't stay, but I appreciate you for typing in the chat, okay? This song that I'm playing is just an instrumental because I don't know whether or not I can play the actual song without being copyrighted. But here we go. It's just an instrumental. But y'all know the song. Y'all know what the song is, right? Because people thought they were stopping things over here when they were running off at the mouth. Right? They were running off at the mouth, child, for a week and a half. And no one was saying anything to them. And these unqualified whores kept running their mouths. Okay? They just kept talking. They wouldn't shut the hell up. Right? They wouldn't just move on with their lives and go on with their content. They want to dictate to people who they can and can't support. It's just a bunch of little girlish, high school, hive-minded thinking. A lot of these women do not realize they're actually still Blackistani-minded. Okay? A lot of you are still Blackistani-minded and you'll never get any respect from me. Okay? Ever. You'll never get any respect from me. Because you come onto YouTube for clout. But how can you talk shit about me when there's a live stream where you got your whole behind showing? Ass crack and all. Okay? But you think you can talk about me and my homegirl? Then you got other people who hopped off the porch for no reason. Who just wanted to insert themselves into some shit because they smell blood in the water. That's interesting. And we'll talk about why that's interesting in a minute. Okay? And then those of you who think you can come into my comment sections telling me what I quote unquote must do. You don't know who you're talking to, okay? Telling me what I must do is a quick way to get blocked. It's a quick way to get blocked. Permanently. All right? Because you got a lot of these people, man. You got a lot of these people who just wanted to hop off the porch. You had the one person who, I'll be honest with you, me and my homegirl see a lot of you coming from a mile away. But the difference is that because of who I am versus who she is, we view things differently, right? So I'm the type of person that when I don't trust you, I don't give you the benefit of the doubt. The reality is my homegirl will see you coming from a mile away and will still give you a chance. Okay? We'll still give you a chance. We'll still give you the benefit of the doubt. We'll still want to see the good in you. And many of you prove her wrong time and time again. So I'm the type of person that I'm like, well, if someone has something to say, just let them talk. They'll eventually get bored with it. But these people couldn't just let it go, right? You have something to say, so it's kind of like, okay, you say what you got to say for a day or two. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. You say what you got to say. Everybody gets the point. No harm, no foul. Not these people. Not these people. Hold on. I'm going to make... no harm, no... Sorry, you guys. I'm going to make some of you guys mods here. Hold on a second. Chill. Because, listen, I've seen what's been going on out here in these YouTube situations. I've seen people get dragged. I've seen people be mistreated because they have their own opinions. Okay? And the thing about it is this, if you don't like me, I really don't care. My only thing is, if you don't like me, just don't be two-faced. If you don't like me, just leave me alone. And I'm like, is this what a lot of y'all women are doing in your interactions with men? Are there men out here telling you to leave them alone and you won't do it? And you're creating a negative image for all Black women because you don't know how to leave people the fuck alone. Y'all have been on this shit for damn near 2 weeks. And pretty much you're saying, fuck you, Lolo and Leah. Okay. If you don't like me, that's cool. Just go on about your business. Go on about your business and move the fuck on. Make your content and move on. People will go where they want to go. But y'all are on here telling people, well, if you don't like these people, you're not really divested. Do you understand the reason the divestment doesn't grow on YouTube? Is because there are other spaces of truly divested Black women, and they come on here and they try to give y'all a chance, and they're like, okay, y'all are having the same conversations that Black women were having 10 years ago. You all have not moved on. And then you got bitches on here who have the audacity to say, I taught them bitches everything they know. Understand something. Black Woman Sphere was not a content creator when Lolita and I came across her. Okay? If you all know about Soncerae, you know she went through a lot when she was going through her pregnancy. So there's a lot of us who came across each other through that. The only people who were content creators at the time that Soncerae dealt with that situation on YouTube, Soncerae, Bomb Cherry, Rice, and Ejaban. All right? Bomb Cherry had been on YouTube for a while. You know, she makes her music and stuff like that. And she also had a channel from the past. Rice had a makeup channel where she did like kind of very artsy makeup. And she also did like hair tutorials. Okay? Ejaban, BWE GOAT out here. All right? And then Soncerae made her videos where she made a lot of commentary about various different issues. So when she went through her pregnancy, you had a lot of people who came across her. And you had some people who had dealt with situations with her behind the scenes that some of us did not know about at that time, okay, where they had reasons to have disagreements with her. Then you had other people who were like, okay, but this girl is pregnant, so can this wait? So Soncerae was dealing with a lot of pushback when she dealt with her pregnancy. And the two people who defended her at first was Rice and Egypt Ann. Okay? And Egypt Ann, like I said, BWE goat out here. And Lolita was a mod for Egypt Ann. All right? I was someone who did not create content, but I was an observer in many spaces on YouTube. I didn't even start commenting on YouTube channels until Soncerae was dealing with the situation with her pregnancy. Because I was one of those people that was like, well, she's pregnant. Can we kind of fall back or whatever? And when Rice started making videos supporting her, I subscribed to Rice's channel. And I became a mod for Rice. So then you had Rice and Egypt Ann making videos, kind of telling people, well, you know, can we lay off of her for a little while? And that's how I met Lolita, which was back in, I believe, 2017. So we would kind of just chop it up in chats. We would cut up in chats. Y'all see us. If me and Lolita are in the same chat, we're cutting up, right? So that's what we were doing back then. And that's how we met the Viper Pit. And it's kind of funny to think about it now, but back then, like, everybody was just like so, like, really connected to the opinions that we had. But I think that everyone, ultimately, regardless of what side we were on, everyone wanted to make sure that she had a healthy pregnancy, and we were concerned about the baby. We just had certain differences in opinion, right? So then Soncerae started talking about the fact that when she dealt with the situation with her child's father, she started coming across certain other women who were not on YouTube. So maybe they were on Facebook or Instagram. Okay? That is how she met the person who now calls herself Black Woman Sphere. So at that time, that person was not actually a content creator, but she came onto YouTube as a sign of solidarity for Soncerae. So for this bitch to have this whole thing of, oh, well, these people came into my space, bitch, you were not a content creator. People came across you because you were a friend of Soncerae. Okay? You were part of her fucking supporting cast. Okay? And so what ended up happening is Black Woman Sphere started making videos in response to certain things that the Viper Pit was saying. So she wasn't in any particular sector. She was just making responses to them. Okay? And then a lot of people were like, you know, you seem like an okay person. Maybe you should make your own YouTube content. So what ended up happening is that Rice and Black Woman Sphere ended up having a lot of mutual mods. So I was a mod for Rice after supporting her channel for a couple of months. And then both Lolita and I became mods for Black Woman Sphere. And when she started making videos, she was not part of any particular sector. As a matter of fact, Lolita is the person who explained divestment to her. And I'm the person who connected her to a lot of the old BWE blogs. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because when she made that video and she said, I taught them everything they know about divestment, we didn't even get mad. We laughed at that bitch. We were like, what? What? Hold on, JW. I'm going to make you a mod. Hold on, baby. Yes, like we laughed at it. We didn't even get mad. We were like, what is this girl talking about? So that's how we all came across each other. Then, once Lolita explained to her what divestment is, and she read through some of the old school BWE blogs, she started making content. And I want you all to understand something. Any panel that Lo was on, that I was on, or anyone was on, it's because we were asked to participate in those conversations. Okay? Nobody was clout chasing this girl. Because again, she was part of Soncerae's supporting cast. So people thought she was cool, but like nobody was trying to invade her spaces. But those of you who are familiar with Lo know, whether you like her or not, you know that girl has a magnetic personality and she has a lot of charisma. So people are going to watch her, whatever she talks about. And what was happening is Black Womansphere was also going on a lot of Manosphere panels. And apparently some of those people had issues with her. So she had trolls following her from those channels to her channel. And then they would get triggered by Lolita, because if you know my homegirl, you know she's very raw in her delivery. That's just what it is. And so it got to the point where people started saying to Lolita, like, you need your own channel. You need to make your own content. And Lo was like, no, I'm just here to support someone that she thought was a friend. And then she kept ending up in these situations where she was told that the conversation would go this way on a panel, but then she'd hop on after being asked to join and find, well, wait a minute, it's a person on a panel that's there to create opposition. So she felt like she was being put in situations to kind of have these back and forth with people. And she didn't really have a problem with it other than the fact that she wasn't being told about it ahead of time. And then also it was people that would record Lolita and I when we would join those panels. And we said a long time ago that we understand that certain things took place privately, because you had people who kind of felt like, okay, maybe Black Womansphere is being trolled because of the things that Lolita has to say or the things that other people who joined the panel had to say. Because there were other content creators in BWE spaces who were joining those panels. So for a person to be like, oh, they came into my space, it's like, okay, baby girl, you didn't have a space to come into. Nobody knew who the fuck you were. Everyone just felt like you were a friend to this particular person. And what happens on YouTube is people can come on here and they can paint a narrative years down the line. And then when Black Womansphere says, well, I don't know why they stopped talking to me. Let's be real. See, I don't understand a lot of these fake ass bitches on here. And I'm going to call these bitches fake ass bitches because they've been talking shit for damn near 2 weeks. I don't get a lot of you fake ass bitches on here who try to say, oh, they wouldn't talk to me and da 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 da. Understand something. Lolita contacted that bitch in March of 2019 to have a conversation to clear the air about whatever problems they had, and the bitch didn't respond. And Lolita was like, well, okay, she has the right to not respond, and she kept it pushing. But the problem is when you spend the next year and a half saying, well, I don't understand why Lolita won't talk to me. It's like, okay, the girl tried to call you. She called you and you didn't answer and you never returned the call. So what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you, like, she literally contacted you and you fucking ignored it. You have the right to ignore it, but what you don't have the right to do is come on here and try to paint a narrative for the audience. That's some fake ass shit. And then to be like, I don't understand what Leah's problem is, and Leah isn't divested, bitch. You're not qualified to speak on me. You don't fucking know me. Lolita had to tell you what divestment was. Leah had to show you the links to the old school BWE and divestment blogs. What the fuck are you talking about? But see, if I come on here and show the messages, then it's, why are you showing private conversations? And my problem with you is you hopped into some shit that had nothing to do with you. Right? But you saw that Love M had an issue. And then Crystal Swirl's fucking dumbass, with her whole fucking ass showing in a live stream from a couple weeks ago, hopped into this shit. And so you did what you've been wanting to do for a long fucking time. You hopped into some bullshit that had nothing to do with you. I don't know what their problem is either. I don't know why they had an issue with me. Bitch, you're lying. A, Lolita tried to have a conversation with you a year and a half ago that you would not have. And then when you hopped onto my channel on some bullshit, and I explained to you very clearly what my concerns were, and you dismissed them. And you have the right to do that. You have a right to say, okay, this is some bullshit. But what you cannot do is feel like you can be on YouTube for over a year later and then say, well, I don't understand what their issue is. And Leah's not really divested. Bitch, you don't know me. You don't know me. I don't know you. And frankly, I don't want to fucking know you. Let me see what y'all are saying in my chat. Because these people got me fucked up. Okay? Y'all don't think we knew that what people wanted to do was to use other women in this sector to discredit us. So with me, they were like, oh, well, you have a black husband, so you can't be divested. Okay, so what's your problem with Lolita? Her husband's a white man. See, your issue with Lolo and Leah is that you can't fucking control us. And we're not going to kiss your asses. Okay? That's what your issue is. And when I tell y'all that there are black women in other spaces who are divested, who don't come onto YouTube because they feel like the conversations on YouTube are not really those of divested black women, this is what I mean. You got bitches hopping off the porch for a white man who's mad because he was blocked. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why he was blocked. Autodidactic was blocked. Not because he questioned me about who I was following, but it's because he took screenshots of the Twitter dialogue that we had and sent them to a black woman who's a content creator. And I had two problems with that. A, you're messy as hell for taking my conversation with you and sending them to another person. And then B, why the fuck would that bitch allow you? Why would that bitch allow you to do that? And I told Lolita, I said, the fact that he knew that he could send that shit to her means that motherfuckers have known for a minute that the bitch doesn't like us. Okay? Because understand something, I have never hopped on here and said anything about any of y'all based on what somebody sent me in a private conversation. Never. Even the ones that I don't like. But this person got mad because he was blocked. And like I said, he was blocked because just like he was sending screenshots of my conversations to Love him, guess what? It was people sending stuff from her Discord group to me and Lolita. Okay? So the shit she was doing got done to her. Period. And for this bitch to sit in a chat on Crystal Swirl's channel and be like, yeah, Lolo is not really married to a white man. That's a fucking lie. She has seen a picture of Lolita's husband. And when she came onto my channel under one of her troll accounts, she was like, well, his picture was never shown publicly. So you passed it around behind the scenes. But thankfully, she covered his face, just like I covered my husband's face. And I'm going to tell y'all something else. It's y'all got me and life fucked up, okay? Because y'all got people coming into my comment section like, you must apologize to this person. Let me tell you something. Telling me what I must do will get you cussed out or blocked, okay? I must not do anything other than stay black and die, bitch. Other than that, everything else is me doing what I want to do. But these people do not know how to leave shit well. Like, y'all don't know how to leave it alone. Okay? You don't like Leah and Lolita? Move on about your business and make your content. Don't make live after live 2 or 3 times a day for a fucking week and a half. Okay? And think that people don't see you because nobody's responding. And don't tag team these dusty ass bitches in. A lot of you bitches are mammies for white men and other non-black men. You took black men off the pedestal and you put non-black men up there. And that's why these motherfuckers know that when they get mad at one black woman, they can come to you with some bullshit and you'll hop off the porch. At people who did nothing but support you. You bitches had a direct line to Leah through Google Hangouts, DMs, or whatever, and you didn't use it. You decided to use your funky ass platform to talk shit. And then you're telling subscribers, oh, you need to pick sides and you need to do this. And if you don't like this person, then you're not really divested. You bitches are dumb. Divestment is about centering black women. Okay? It's about doing your self-work, your healing. Fixing the shit that's wrong with you. What y'all doing on YouTube is preschool divestment. Y'all don't know shit. And y'all think you can fucking judge me and talk shit? But y'all know not to do that on them other bitches' channels. You know not to go on them funky ass bitches' channels and defend Leah and Lolo because you know you get fucking blocked or you get trolled. But then you try to come onto my shit and plead your case. Fuck you. You will get blocked. I do not owe you access to me. Lolo does not owe you access to her. No black woman owes you access to her. And if you want some fuck shit, you're going to get blocked, period. If I'm kind enough to have a conversation with you and you take it and you run it to another motherfucker, you're getting blocked. Do you understand? I've blocked my husband from Twitter, Facebook, IG, and YouTube when he gets on my nerves. So why the fuck do you think you get a pass? And y'all say, well, I don't understand why the divestment sector doesn't grow. It's because black women who learn about divestment from other areas come to YouTube and they think y'all are on some dumb shit. Okay? When they read the old school blogs or they take certain courses and they come on here, y'all look like fucking clowns. And for y'all to hop off the porch and say, well, you can't be divested because you blocked a white man. Fuck that motherfucker. Okay? If he was being a messy Mitch, he's gonna get blocked. Just like a black man would, just like a black woman would, just like a woman of any other race would. Okay? And a bitch that we had to explain divestment to and send her the blogs to can't ever tell me what I am. Those of you who are like, oh, you blocked a white man, so you're not divested. You can't tell me anything, baby. You're still in preschool. All right? You're still in fucking preschool, bitch. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. Right, D. Remedial divestors. Hold on, baby. I think you were a mod for Lolita. So let me make you a mod here. Wait, babe. Let me see. Let me cook. Because I want all of y'all to be mods. Fuck it. Because y'all been really out here like showing a lot of support. And another thing I want to say. I want to thank those of you who support me and or Lo. I want to thank you for not being in these other people's comment sections going back and forth with them. Because frankly, it's not necessary, right? It's not necessary. But these people wanted a war. They wanted a back and forth. They wanted a fight. And they wanted to say, well, Leah's not divested because she has a black husband. Well, then what's your problem with Lolita? Because her husband's very white. And he's a very good man. He's a wonderful person. And he treats her very well. So what's your problem with her? See, your problem is that you can't control Lolo and Leah. You can't get us to kiss any of your asses. And that's what your problem is. And that's going to continue to be your problem. Okay? Wait a minute. Why is this not? Hold on. Because I'm literally. Hold on. Let me go into my settings because I'm literally like watching myself add D and JW as mods and it's not. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Y'all might hear some clicking in the background. And then these people think they can talk their shit. Right? See, this is another problem for me, right? These people think, okay, see, in my settings, it shows D and JW as mods. Okay, hold on. Let me go back here. Let me come out of the chat and then come back in. But yeah, anyway, this is some bullshit, right? Right, Toffee. If a man is this invested in woman's space, is he even straight? Because why are you taking my messages to you and sending them to another person? Like, why are you doing that when I've done nothing but support you? And why are you, as a black woman who has a direct line to me, like, why are you using that to talk shit about me? Why? Like, that is the most hurtful shit. And then y'all wonder why there are black women who have come into these spaces and they don't have anything good to say about other black women. And it doesn't apply to all because there are a lot of really wonderful and genuine black women who are self-first or BWE or divested, or other black women who are supportive of these spaces, but we all look at each other and we're like, I don't know if I can trust you. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a part of me that's like, why did this guy feel comfortable sending those messages to that person? And everyone looks at it like, well, how did they get the information from the Discord group? And it's like, okay, baby, because what you do to other people is done to you. So you had a Trojan horse around me and Lolita, and guess what? There was someone who did the same thing to you. And because you thought it would get you more clout and more subscribers, you decided to throw us under the bus when we didn't do anything to you. Okay, one person blocked you on Twitter, but the other person didn't block you. The other person was still a member of your channel and was still supporting you. So why do I get thrown under the bus? And I've talked before about association fallacy and about how many people will try to control Black women's friendships. And it's like, are you that triggered by the fact that me and Lolita are cool as fuck? Are you that bothered by it? Do you not understand that we're both cool with other people on here as well? Like, do you feel like if you can't create a wedge between us, then you just got to throw both of us under the bus and you got to spend damn near 2 weeks talking shit? Do you feel that entitled to other Black women that you feel like if we don't grant you access to us, it makes us evil? And so you go on a smear campaign inciting hatred against us? And you have other people who frankly had no need to insert themselves into this. Crystal Swirls and Black Woman Sphere had no business talking about this shit. Lolo and Leah have not talked shit about any of Black Woman Sphere's various beefs for quite some time. When Crystal Swirls went through the bullshit on her channel back in July, Leah hit her up behind the scenes like, hey, yo, I hope you're okay. And so it goes to show you that a lot of these women will literally fucking hate you. And when they see an opportunity, they will use it to throw you under the bus. And then they will use their subscribers to say, this one bitch had the nerve to come onto my other channel and say, you need to take this video down and apologize to this person. And I'm like, fuck that bitch. She got several videos on her channel talking shit about me. Fuck her. I don't owe any of you motherfuckers an apology. Because you wanted to take a hit job on my channel and on Lowe's channel. That's what you wanted to do. But yet you're talking about how you're not Blackistan minded. Do you understand that that is some hood bitch shit? To get a bunch of women to go against the person that you don't like? Y'all are stuck in Blackistan. You're just mammying for a different group of men. You didn't burn your cape. You just threw it in the back of the closet. And then when the time was right, you took it to the dry cleaners, had them clean it, iron it, so the creases were extra crisp. And you put it on so that you could cape for a white man who was mad because he got blocked. And you didn't ask about what happened or the why, but you had the nerve to come to us and say, well, since he's white, you shouldn't have blocked him. What the fuck are you on? Like I said, I have blocked my husband from social media. Listen, the only person that I will not block from social media because it will hurt her feelings is my mama, okay? Everybody else, including my dad, my siblings, everybody has been blocked from time to time if you get on my nerves. So what are y'all on? I don't owe you any reverence or anything if you're not someone in my personal life. And if you're promoting this message that Black women need to bow down to certain men, even if they have no personal connection with them, that's a problem. Because you're telling Black women that divestment means taking one group of men off the pedestal and putting another group on there. And understand, divested Black women in other spaces very much know what divestment is. And that's why they don't come on YouTube. Because they feel like many of these people don't have a real grasp of it. Okay. You understand, I was told a while back, they were like, you and your friend, need to find a space off of YouTube, because you're going to be very irritated once you realize what the space actually is. Lisa, no. Lolo is taking a break, but people who know how to get in touch with her know how to reach her. And my thing, I'm not even telling people to pick sides. Go where you want to go. Do what you want to do. What I'm saying is, you're not going to tell me what the fuck to do. Okay? You're not going to tell me what to do. And you're not going to let people that, frankly, I don't really know define me. You're just not. Because the real problem with some of these women is that they are jealous of any Black woman who is content. Whether she's content and happily single, or whether she is a younger Black woman who is content and happily interracially partnered. Because you see it happen with any Black woman who comes into this space who is young, like under 30, and who is interracially married or otherwise happily partnered. You will see the way that some of these older women rip them to shreds. And a lot of these women are just, they're evil. But what has taken place for the last nearly 2 weeks has shown me that I'm very fortunate to have created spaces for myself off of YouTube. Because I was told nearly a year ago, she was like, girl, I think your heart is in the right place, but YouTube and divestment don't mesh. Because the real divestors are not on YouTube. And I completely understand what she means now. And those of you who have all this shit to say about Lo, understand something. When all this stuff was going on, you had people sending us certain things, right? And literally, Lo and I had a conversation, and she was like, you know, it's one person who's really stayed quiet. I didn't say anything. And she was like, you know, I'm pleasantly surprised that this person is just kind of not putting herself in the situation. And less than 24 hours later, we start getting messages that this person has hopped off the porch. So see, a lot of these women that talk about sisterhood are full of shit, because they want a one-sided sisterhood, right? So they want you to be a sister to them without them actually being a sister to you. So they want you to have rules of engagement in a certain quote unquote code. But when they deal with you, they will lie on you. They will slander you. They will hop on board any bandwagon, right? So the last week or so in this sector, it's been fuck Lolo and Leah. We don't like them bitches. And you don't like us because we're not kissing your asses. Okay? We're not kissing your asses, and we're not co-signing your dysfunctional behavior. And if you're a motherfucker who has your whole ass out on a live stream, you're not in the position to talk about anybody. And that's just what it is. And your problem doesn't need to be with Lolo and Leah. Your problem needs to be with the people in your chat who observed you showing your whole entire funky ass and didn't say to you, hey girl, hey, you're showing a little too much. Or the people who observed that and didn't come into the comment section and say anything. Or the people who saw it and didn't hit you up privately. So you got this video that's been up for a couple of weeks with your whole funky ass out. And nobody's saying anything to you. So what people need to understand is everyone has the right to their opinions, right? But you don't run anything but your channel. Once you're not on your channel, you don't run shit. And if you have people who are trying to support you, you need to respect that and not try to control who else they like. Because we just saw what happened with Breonna Taylor. She was only 26. And she ended up in a situation that cut her life very short. So these young women out here don't care about who you like or dislike or who I like or dislike. They need the information. And if you actually care about Black women and girls, you're not going to be on this quienes más macho shit, right? You're not going to be on this, I created single white female syndrome. Bitch, are you dumb? That term came out after the movie called Single White Female. That's been around for nearly 30 years. You're not going to be out here trying to beat your chest like fucking King Kong. You're going to understand that there are younger Black women and Black girls who need these conversations because it's life-saving for them. It's life-saving for them to not make the same mistakes that some of y'all have made. And then when it comes to younger Black women, they might not relate to those of us who are in our late 30s, approaching 40 and older. But maybe they relate to younger Black women. So instead of ripping those women to shreds, maybe we need to support them. Because one thing I've noticed about this space is y'all claim to say, oh, we want to see younger Black women make better decisions, right? But when you come across those women, you're triggered by them and you hate them because y'all want every Black woman on here to have a sob story and to be in a fucked up situation. Some of us didn't go through that, okay? Now, those of you who did still have a story to tell, just like the Black women who did not go through that. They still have a story to tell as well. But y'all only want to support those who have a fucking sob story. And the sob stories get old once you hit a certain age. If you're still making the same bad decisions once you cross 30, it's a problem. Okay? It's a problem. You need to be better. Lisa, we're trying to get her back on. I think she'll be back, but just give her some time. Because we both said that we were not going to be on here giving these people the fight that they obviously wanted. We're not going to do that because that's not beneficial to the Black women and especially the younger Black girls that come to these spaces. They don't need to see a bunch of catty Black women going back and forth. That doesn't edify them in any way. These bitches that want you to kiss the ring and say, oh, well, this is the person who's... Get the fuck over yourself. If people like you, they like you and they'll support you. If they find other spaces, then respect that because everyone's not the same. If you know anything about divestment or BWE, you know that there are certain ideological differences. So that's why when I went to Divest Twitter with some of this stuff that's been going on, they're like, Leah, what is this? Why are people questioning you about following a Black woman who supports the ADOS movement when the Black women who created these conversations on social media were Black American women who were divested in ADOS? Why would we not tune in to what's happening to ADOS Black women and girls when we created these spaces for those women and girls? And I had a couple of them say to me, well, there's no way that the people asking you these questions could be either Black women or ADOS. There's no way, it wouldn't make sense. And then when I said, well, okay, so, screenshots of who I follow was sent to another content creator. And so I made the decision to block the person who sent those screenshots. Like, am I wrong for that? And again, it was like, Leah, why, what is this? Why is this coming up? And so I told them, this is what happened to me. And they're like, see, this is why we're not on YouTube. Because y'all are still dealing with women who are having the same conversations that we were having a decade ago. And nobody has any games to play with y'all, okay? If you watch Game of Thrones, then you know the term winter is coming. It's about to get real out here for those of you who are living paycheck to paycheck or dealing with other situations. It's about to get real out here for you. You have a lot of younger Black women who live in New York City, and they're afraid of what's going to happen if federal funding is really removed from cities like New York City and Portland and Seattle. Okay, as the president and the Department of Justice have mentioned, what's it going to mean when those police departments don't get federal funding? What is that going to mean for young Black women and girls and for Black women in general? What's it going to mean when you live in a state that's not federally funded, so there are no federal funds for things like state highways or interstate highways? What is that going to mean if you rely on certain benefits that are supplemented by federal funds? And the Black women and girls who are dealing with these issues do not care about who you like or dislike. That's not going to affect them in real life. They do not care about who you want to put on a pedestal. They care about finding ways to make sure that they can navigate themselves through this. I don't care who becomes the next president or not, okay? But we have to understand something. You have a lot of Black women who are concerned about what's going to happen when the Supreme Court goes 6-3 on the conservative side, and then if Donald Trump wins in November, which is a very real possibility, you got another Supreme Court justice who's in his 80s, and if he steps down, that's going to be another conservative Supreme Court pick. So you're going to have a 7-2 split on the Supreme Court. What is that going to mean for Black women who have been conditioned to be liberal-minded? How do you navigate through that so that no matter who is the ruling party in charge, you're on top? And when we had that conversation on Twitter, there was a Black woman who said, yeah, this is why I stopped going in on Candace Owens, because I realized, like, whoever's in office, she's always going to be on top because she married well and she positioned herself and her future children in a way that will allow them to have a legacy and to be secured. What about you? Those of you who are going back and forth, you owe this person an apology and you should do this and blah, blah, blah. What about you? What's your situation? Can you afford to not be working if we go through a second shutdown? What's your savings plans like? Do you have enough supplies to last you for a few months? Enough supplies and food? What's your situation like? Think about that before you come on here trying to dictate anything to anyone. Because understand, it will not work with me. Okay? I can be cool with you, but if you tell me what to do, I will cuss you out and block you. Period. I don't put anyone on a pedestal other than myself. And if you don't know what it is to be autonomous, if you don't understand that divestment is removing yourself from anything that doesn't benefit you, and you think it's about taking one group of people off the pedestal and putting another group of people on, you need to check yourself before you think that you can come for me. Because like I said a few days ago, and some of you got triggered, but it is what it is. These women who have a problem with me, these women who have a problem with Lo, these women who have a problem with those of you who support us are not qualified to speak on us. The very idea of divestment is about being a free thinker, not being hive-minded, not being cult-like. What you've seen in the past few days is cult-like behavior. You must like this person and dislike this person or you're out. These women are Blackistan-minded. They've just carried those behaviors over into this space. Okay? And this has been an ideological divide for quite some time. It's not a new conversation. You've had Black women who have said, okay, it's absolutely wonderful for Black women to expand your dating options. You just have to understand that when you're dealing with other groups of men, there are certain things you need to do to prepare yourself so that you're not on the short end of the stick. Because see, Becky and Mylene and Maria are taught these things. Black women are not. So when you deal with men in general, there are certain things that you have to keep in mind so that no matter what happens, you're protected. But a lot of times we can't have these conversations on YouTube because if some guy gets mad about something, he can come to one of y'all and get y'all to hop off the porch. And then act high and mighty. And act like you're so much better than everyone else. And it's like, okay, sis, you're still a fucking mammy and a mule. You're just doing it for a different group of people. And those of you who smelled blood in the water and decided to hop off the porch, you proved yourself to be everything that I thought you were. See, Lolita gave y'all the benefit of the doubt. I was like, I still don't trust that bitch. And you proved yourself to be the snake and the weasel that I've always thought that you were. Anyway, yes, JW, groupthink. Groupthink and hive mind. Black women who are truly autonomous and self-first understand that it's dangerous to be in a situation where you are not supported when you want to think for yourself. All right. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for being here. I know it's been a minute since I've been on. Yes, Lex, it started because of a white guy who got mad because he was blocked. He was blocked on my Twitter once I found out that he sent screenshots of my Twitter exchange with him to another content creator. Okay. And then he started saying he was blocked in other places. And I know with myself, for like a couple of weeks, I had actually removed Google Hangouts from my phone. And when I added it back, the only person that I added back in Google Hangouts was Lolita. I did leave the Google Hangouts with certain other people once I saw what was going on YouTube. But whether or not a person is blocked, listen, I want y'all to understand something. You have the right to say you want to cut someone out of your life. You have the right to not return a phone call, to not return a text message. You have the right to block someone, right? Like you have the right to say that I don't owe you access to me. Y'all don't understand. Like I write a lot. So that's why I started with the blog post. But in one of my notebooks, I have some poems that I've written. And one of them is kind of like a back and forth dialogue. And so part of it is me looking at people and saying, I demand some reciprocity. And then their response as a group is, I demand a piece of you. And so many times I feel like there are so many people clamoring for access to us as Black women. Like they feel like we owe it to them. Like you have to let me be on your channel. You have to let me be on your Twitter page. You have to let me be on your Facebook. And it's like, wait a minute. I don't owe you that. If I feel uncomfortable about something, or if I have a moment where I just don't want to be bothered, I have the right to block you. I have the right to do that. Like I told y'all earlier in this stream, I got mad at my husband one day and blocked him off of social media, and we're in the same house. Like I have the right to say, okay, in this space, I want to be left alone. And that's important for those of you who are younger to understand. You don't owe people access to you. You're not required to leave yourself open to everyone. And for people to make that a thing, like there's literally this girl running around saying, well, they can't be divested because they blocked this guy and he's a non-Black man. I don't owe you that. Especially if you're doing stuff like taking my conversations with you and sending them to other people. And then those conversations are being used to say, Lolo and Leah are fake. And then there's live after live after live after live for a week. And then you got other people being tag teamed in. Everyone thinks that's okay, but no one thinks about how that affects the channel. When those dirty foot bitches started making those videos, I lost damn near 30 subs on one of my channels. People are coming back, but no one gave a fuck about how it affected my channel because that's what they wanted. They wanted to take a kamikaze hit in my channels. They wanted me to lose subscribers. They wanted to slander me. They wanted to defame me. And guess what? They got what they wanted. They wanted to incite people to hate Lolo and I. They wanted to control the way that other Black women in this space felt about us. So then when I said, okay, well, when it comes to YouTube, I'm not operating under any labels, they said, well, no, you must apologize to this person. It's like, bitch, you must get the fuck out of my face because you must have gotten me fucked up. Okay? I must not do anything. Like, don't try to tell me what to do. You will get cussed out in real life or on the internet. Okay? Don't tell me what to do. Like I told y'all before, I listen, I'm going to be a Black woman till the day I die. I have a date with my maker. Okay. So, I'm going to be a Black woman. I got a day I'm going to die and I got to pay taxes. Anything else? You can't tell me I have to do it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? But then people will have a problem with this live stream. Oh, she's cursing and I can't believe she's saying this and da-da-da-da. But everyone will ignore the fact that for over a week and a half, people have literally been taking shots at me and they've been taking shots at Lo, and Lo is not on YouTube. Okay? If you don't have a line to her, you're not going to contact her. She doesn't know what's going on here unless somebody tells her. I'm not on here other than to respond to the comments that I've been getting because there's a lot of you that have been showing us support. And then there's a lot of you who have been saying, well, when I go on this other channel, people are really mean to me. They're really nasty. A lot of you all are telling me that. And I want you to understand the people who are the real messy ones and the real divisive ones are the ones who sat back for a week and a half and realized that in the middle of all of this, no one was addressing them or responding to them. Those of you who support me and Lo, you all are amazing because those of you who have a direct line to us know that we do not want anyone in anyone's comment sections like saying anything or whatever. Just let it rock out. Let people say what they have to say, and you all have done a wonderful job about that. But then you see how you're treated when people realize that, you're not going along with the cult. You're not going along with the hive mind. You see that. You see the people who literally were not getting a response for over a week and a half and continue to talk. Continue to run their mouths. Continue to talk their shit. Those are the messy people because they wanted a confrontation. They wanted this big blowout, this big confrontation, and they didn't get it. So they kept poking and prodding. So I'm making this stream for those of you who support me and those of you who support Lo to know that we see what's going on because we get the messages from you guys. But I just hope that you all are connected to spaces that reflect true divestment, because true divestment is not Black women going back and forth, Black women trying to establish leaders or anything like that, because if you're autonomous, you know that you lead yourself. You know that you don't need anyone serving over you, right? You make the decisions that are best for you, and you remove yourself from the spaces that don't benefit you. But it's not about controlling other Black women. It's not about, this whole thing. If you watched Marilyn Milian on the People's Court, she would always say, "Quien es más macho?" It's not this whole game of who's the one in charge. It's not about that. Because true divestment, like I said, is about being the captain of your own ship. Okay? Yeah, Coco, it's still kind of being talked about. And then, like I said, I had someone in my comment section. I had to block the person on my other channel because they were in my comment section like, "You must take this video down and you must apologize to this person." And I'm like, do you not see the slander that this person has about me on their channel? I don't have to do shit. But that's what this was all about. It was a power play. It was a muscle flex. And when they didn't get the response that they wanted, then they started trying to control those of you who support us. And just understand something. I respect all of you. It's free thinking individuals, and I'll never try to tell you who to be or where to go. I would say that if you don't like what you see on YouTube when it comes to divestment, check out the old school BWE and Divested blogs. Some people don't like Twitter because stuff can kind of pop off on Twitter, but just also take the time to see what's going on in your real life. And if you're a divested Black woman and you are self first, then your real life will reflect that. Okay? So take the time to enjoy that. Don't get too mired in this stuff on YouTube, because understand that there were certain things that Lo and I observed a while ago, and we just didn't say anything about it because we didn't think it was necessary. And honestly, we didn't think it would get to the point that it's gotten to. But it is what it is. Anyway, I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. It's early morning where I am. So evening/early morning. I hope you're all doing well. And don't let anyone tell you that divestment is about following any particular person. That's not what it is. Okay? Divestment is about putting you first, you doing the things that you need to be the best you that you can be, and you being in the position to remove yourself from anything or anyone that is not serving you a positive purpose. All right? Anyway, I hope you all are doing well. Yep, D, for a minute. Like this has been going on for a while, but we always knew that as our channel started to take off, especially Lolita, right? Because Lolita can like fire up her channel right now and it'll be 100+ people watching her. Because no matter how much people say they hate her, when she comes back, they will be front and center watching. Okay? But we always knew that as certain things took place, people would try to shoot it down. They try to shoot it down. And this time it was a misfire, right? It was a misfire. They didn't really do shit. People still show support. People who know how to get to Lolita, people are still hitting her up and asking her to do content. So you didn't do shit. And when she's ready to come back, she will. Right now she's taking a little bit of a break because of all the stuff that's going on. Understand too, these people who say they've gotten law enforcement involved, they're lying. They're lying. No one has seen a case number. No one has been contacted by law enforcement. And the reality is that what these people don't understand is that them and their constant videos actually constitutes harassment once it gets to a certain point. So that's why we've kind of just not responded. We just kind of sit back and let people talk. Because if they continue to talk, then the things that they wish for us will end up happening to them. Okay? But anyway, I'm going to get off here because my husband said it's time for me to go to bed. So I got to go. But I'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you so much for supporting me, for supporting Lo, and for sticking with us, and for just rocking with us the way that you do. It means a lot. And, I'll be back soon. Bye.